The month of February. All right, the month of February. Let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the planetary aspects that are happening, and then after we talk about that, or I give you those dates, thank you. Then we'll go into the individual rising signs, and we'll be talking about where the sun and the new moon is going to be highlighting, where the full moon will be falling, and we'll talk about where Venus will be impacting you for this month. So, as always, my astrological content is primarily geared towards your rising sign, which I always suggest if you are going to consume any type of astrological content, you want to be listening for your rising sign first. You also may hear it as your ascendant. Next, you want to listen for your sun sign, and you can also listen for your moon sign. If you listen for all three of these signs, this will give you a well-rounded overview of the energies that will be impacting you, and you'll be able to recognize when those energies are impacting your rising sign, your sun sign more, or your moon sign. And again, your moon sign is going to be reflective of what is happening to you on an internal level. Your rising sign is what is astrologically happening in real time for you. And your sun sign is more of those general things that are going on with you. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Before I forget, if you do not have your rising sign, you can go online and you can Google it at, you can put in free birth chart calculator or free natal chart calculator. Just choose one. Doesn't matter which one you choose. You're going to enter your date of birth, your place of birth, and most importantly, your time of birth. Please make sure the time of birth is correct, because this is going to determine what your rising sign is, which is very, very important. Now, you can go ahead and do that. Starting off the month on February the 5th, Mercury, the sign of communication, transportation, and all those things that have everything to do of the exchange of information, it's going to go into the sign of Aquarius. So with Mercury going into the sign of Aquarius, this is going to be conversations geared around technology. We're going to have a lot of conversations geared around innovation, a lot of conversations geared around moving forward, because Aquarius represents how we're moving forward in the world. So a lot of conversations around our long-term goals, what we see for ourselves, our desires, things of that nature will occupy the exchange of information that we have going on. The next thing is going to be on February the 6th, the asteroid Pallas, Pallas, enters into the sign of Sagittarius. And I think this year for me, I'm going to get more into researching and inputting some of the asteroids into my content. But the asteroid Pallas is entering into Sagittarius. And what this will do is this will kind of ignite for some people a really broader view on their beliefs. Okay, since we're entering into the sign of Sagittarius, this will be you opening up your mind to your new belief system, how you see the world. This could open up some of us to different ways of worshiping, new philosophies around religion. This could also ignite a desire for learning. So education could be on the agenda with regards to this asteroid. On February the 9th, our new moon, which is representative of new beginnings, this is where we want to plant our seeds of intention. This is where we want to start our manifestations, will be in the sign of Aquarius. Keep in mind, Aquarius is about innovation, forward thinking, forward movement. This is an air sign, so this is all about the mind. So for me, with you doing your intentions around with the energy of the new moon, this is going to be a lot of speaking your intentions into existence, and also writing down your intentions into existence. This will support you on bringing those things into fruition. So as we move forward with the content for this year, depending on where the new moon and what sign it's going into, I will let you know what would be the best way to do manifestation. So because it's in Aquarius of the mind, let's write down our intentions. Let's speak our intentions into existence around this new moon. February the 13th, Mars the planet of initiative, the planet of passion and drive and moving forward. It's going to enter into the sign of Aquarius. February the 16th, Venus, our smallest benefic planet, which represents love, money, creature comforts, all the things that we consider things that we love, beauty, aesthetics, all of that will be entering into the sign of Aquarius. On February the 18th, the sun will leave the sign of Aquarius and move into the sign of Pisces. So February the 18th, we get a change and we go into Pisces season. February the 23rd, Mercury leaves the sign of Aquarius and goes into the sign of Pisces. Now, Mercury in the sign of Pisces is not necessarily the best placement for Mercury, because Mercury is the planet of the mind, and Mercury is the planet of the details. So Mercury wants to know everything there is to know about any and everything. It is very particular about the information that it receives, the information that it puts out, the exchange of information, and it wants to know how everything works in great detail. Now, when you take a planet that is so analytical like this and you enter it into the sign that is like Pisces. First of all, Pisces is a water sign. And for me, Pisces is the most intuitive, imaginative, and dreamy sign of the zodiac. So those two things don't particularly work well together, because Mercury is all about what are the details in this thing that we're trying to come up with, and Pisces is like, I don't have any details. It's all in my mind. It's all in my imagination. I don't know how we're going to get there. I just know, I feel like this is a good idea. I feel like this is the direction that we should be going in. So Pisces is all about the feeling, about the imagination, and Mercury is about the details. So again, Mercury doesn't really do its best in this sign, but it is here, and that's where we are. So for me, I would advise you not to make a lot of major decisions around this time, because again, it's just not, there's no clarity there. Unless you're someone that is very intuitive and you're going to listen to your gut, and you do better when you listen to your gut, I would say that's great for you. But if you're someone that's very analytical, needs all the details in front of you, February may not be the best month for you to be making those types of decisions. Someone says, I have a dream, LOL. Yes, Martin Luther King, I have a dream. And Pisces actually is the sign of dreams. So we want to be careful, what we're doing and initiating around this time. And the final pass will be on February the 24th. The full moon will go into the sign of Virgo. So the full moon is about endings, adjustments, acknowledgments. It's also about the revelation of things that we need to see, because the moon will be at its brightest when it's full. This will be a time where you can get some clarity or get some vision, or you can get some knowledge of a situation that may have kept you in the dark, quote unquote. So this is going to be around the sign of Virgo. You don't like when someone said, I don't like when the moon is in Virgo. You don't like when the moon is in Virgo? The emotions get real critical. I have a Virgo moon, and I know how I process my emotions, and everything is very critical and overanalyzed. So I kind of understand what you're talking about with that full moon going into Virgo. So does anyone get into the individual rising sign? So once I get to your rising sign, if it is your rising sign, please put it in the comments so I'll know who I'm talking to on this live. And we're going to get started. We're going to start at the top of the zodiac, as I always do, with Aries rising, sun or moon. The sun, the new moon, and Venus is going to be impacting your second house. I love this because this is the money house. So I love when there's like major supportive activity with regards to your money. So you're another one that, especially with Venus here, this is great for money just finding its way to you. You should be like in the energy of abundance if you're a Capricorn rising all month of February, because you could actually be attracting a lot of money making opportunities, because remember, this is the second house. So this is where we earn our money. This is not like the money that somebody's just going to give to you. You'll have to work for it. So you could be in the place where you find a more lucrative job that pays more. You could be thinking about getting a second job. If you're a business owner with Venus being there, you'll maybe see an improvement in the influx of your customers, especially with old customers coming back. And this could put you in the space or energy of developing a lot of money-making opportunities for yourself during this month. You're another one. Pay attention to your long-term investments. If you can find a way to put more money into your long-term investments, this would be a great time for you to do that. All right. And this is also the area that governs material possessions. And because Venus is here, this could put it on your heart that you want to buy something for yourself that may be a little bit high-end, something that you love. Listen, if you're able to manage it and it not break the budget, I would support you, Capricorn rising, in buying yourself something nice. All right. Your full moon is going to be in the 9th house. So some of you could be completing a degree plan, an educational plan. Some of you are getting ready to embark on a long distance trip, or you're starting to plan a long distance trip. You're another one that if you don't have your passport or visa or something to that effect that helps you travel, this would be a great month for you to go ahead and obtain that. Even if you don't have a trip planned, sometimes when you go ahead and initiate things like this, all of a sudden the trip falls in your lap, or you find a way to go out of town some way. So go ahead and get your passport. It lasts for 10 years. So, of course, you'll be taking a trip within a 10-year span. But go ahead and do that if you need to. What else? Reconnecting with your faith. I support my Capricorn risings in reconnecting with your faith. Some of you are going back to church, going back to your worship, going back to your spiritual practices. And I think that will be a great thing for you. And if there's a legal situation going on with my Capricorn rising, you may see some favorable resolution with that this month. All right? See you in the next video. Bye-bye.